Okay, week 7. In the books, I was top point scorer in my league. Let's see which one of you found success on a very odd week. We got to start with the worst game so far as overall points of the week. The only team that failed to hit 100 was Untouchables, falling to 1-6. And when you're captain corrupt at this point, you have to just think to yourself, is this it? Did I just put my best foot forward and that was all I really had is that one win? I've spoken about this team before. They were near the bottom of the league where I had them. And now into the season, that was preseason, into the season, you got to scratch your head because you think like Kyren Williams, one of the most reliable guys this season. Kyler Murray, a very good quarterback. Tony Pollard, yes, he didn't play that well this week, but he's been very solid. What's the solution for this team? I'm not positive. Obviously, at the wide receiver position this week, Jameson Williams and Devontae Smith basically combined for 0. Devontae Smith, I mean, it looks like it's A.J. Brown's wide receiver group. So I think ultimately, I don't know if that's going to turn around for Jameson Williams also. I mean, he's going to get suspended. So what does that become? And where does the help come from if you're Untouchables? I don't know. I'm trying to think of it because Mike Evans gets hurt. And now your wide receiver group is just completely depleted. I mean, Jaden Waddle will be better with Tua, and Mooney's still decent. But it's hard not to want to done chain this team. And there's talent here, too. The running back group isn't bad. Tight end group, not bad. But with 1-6, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and done chain Untouchables. I think this is my first done chain of the season. I hate to do it. But Untouchables gets the done chain, and that was what I was just... I wasn't looking forward to doing that. I didn't want to do it, but it is what it is. And now we'll move forward. Now let's talk some other football. El Professor gets a big win to go to 3-4. 114, not an amazing week. Mason had an off week. You had to know he'd be limited. Achane still without Tua is having off weeks. Marvin Harrison, one of the more disappointing players. Douglas was a bit of a stretch start. Laporte has been disappointing. Tracy was a disappointing start, and he doesn't look like he's going to be incredible without him. But you got to hope, CD's going to come back. Aubrey, your kicker, comes back. Slight upgrades. It's definitely not one of the best teams in the league. I mean, that's for sure. But at 3-4, you have to think El Professor, maybe there's still some firepower there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Done chain now for Untouchables is going to be something that we're going to have to track throughout the season. If I'm wrong, I donate to a charity of Untouchables' choice. Okay, moving on. Banditos played like a team should, 169 points over. A good week for El Grenas, who, it's a team that I'm definitely high on, but they only get 139 this week. Wasn't enough against a very solid team, Banditos team, that had his back against the wall and just had to win. When you have Amon-Ra, who is the wide receiver 1, Lamar Jackson, quarterback 1, you're going to be in a good spot. The surprises was you did go with Courtland Sutton. That was surprising. Obviously disappointing. But the other surprises were all positive. Njoku and Najee Harris both look legit. Njoku looks legit. 14 targets, 10 catches. If he could do this without Deshaun Watson, there's a lot to be excited about there. Najee also looks just like so much better than any other season. I mean, there's a lot of potential there as well. And now you get Nick Chubb back, and then Olave's going to come back without Rashid Shaheed in the wide receiver group. And you were talking about Banditos potentially really being able to make a run. So I said Banditos not done yet. I actually really love this team. I think there's a lot of firepower with Banditos, so consider me a Banditos fan moving forward. Dust in the Wind, gigantic win going to 5-2 because as I mentioned before the season, Dust in the Wind was a team that I had concerns about. And I said the trades he made, he's going to regret it. But he's laughing in my face right now, and I respect him for it. Can he keep it going? I don't know. I mean, I still look at the Hubbard, Zach Moss starts and Reed start, and I'm like, do I love it? I don't know. I love it. But ultimately, how can you hate it? How can you hate it? At 5-2, I'm going to say my prediction is Dust in the Wind's going to be a one-and-done playoff team. So let me just add that to I already said they're going to regret the trades after the season. I'm going to add to that one and done. But I've been wrong before. I could be wrong again. Wrong again. Okay, and then Pain Train. Derrick Henry, absolutely remarkable. Jane Daniels getting banged up, very frustrating because Malik Neighbors also. This team's had some bad luck. There's no doubt about this team having bad luck. Juju gets hurt, he's gonna miss. He's gonna miss time. Jane Daniels gets hurt, he's going to miss time. You already had bad luck. Malik Neighbors out a few weeks. Tyreek, wide receiver 1, goes to wide receiver 3 without Tua, but it's all coming together. And maybe at the right time, because you go to 4-3, and I think Payne Train still has some firepower in him. Both these teams are likely teams we're going to see in the playoffs, so we have to get used to them. Even if I'm not a huge fan of Dust in the Wind, I think we have to expect that that's going to be something that we'll see. Which one should we go with next? Let's go with Crucifier losing to Team Electric. Crucifier goes down to 3-4. 3-4 for a Crucifier team that I said needed to get a running back because coming into the season I was very high on them, and now I'm getting a little concerned because they do fall to 3-4. But they got themselves a running back. I mean, Kareem Hunt, 23.3 points. James Conner, 25 points. That's a good running back week. The concern actually was Brandon Ayuk being hurt for the season was the bad luck here. So it's not coming from where we expected because we really like the wide receiver group going into this week. Also, DeAndre Swift, by the way, running back wise, is going to work out for you. It really is going to come up to Pickens. Can he be consistent? I think he can. He looks very good, and Russell Wilson, I think, is good for him. Crucifier, I still think could be fine and could be a playoff team. Electric, obviously seeing incredible production, 166 points. I think Amari Cooper, obviously getting traded, is good for you. Breece Hall with the new look offense is good for you. Jalen Hurts with all of his weapons is good for you. Really not much else to say outside of this team has potential firepower. Electric at 5-2. I don't think they're done being electric, really. And then the final game is Chef Cesario loses again, falling to 4-3, a team that I thought was going to go insane. To a team, we went with Jared, who goes to 4-3. We went with Jared, has had also bad luck this season, but really getting over it potentially as they improve to 3-4. I think they had bad luck. I had in my notes they had bad luck. Maybe I'm wrong. Aaron Jones banged up, but he actually performed pretty well, 21.1. Josh Allen, fantastic. Stevenson is the only guy on this team that I really don't like. Although honestly, as a depth piece, it's fine. I wish you had more running backs. Is my critique of this team. So we're gonna see if you have enough firepower to go deep. But we went with Jared. You have to say also. I mean, any team that has Josh Allen, Aaron Jones is solid. Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams now with Aaron Rodgers, who I think is still gonna be great. Brian Robinson playing great football. I'm not going to say that it's the 3-4 team that we could forget about. We can't forget about it. But Team Chef Cesario is just better because Saquon looks unbelievable. Kamara's had an off week, but he's going to be great. A.J. Brown looks really good. Losing Godwin is the concern. And you had some bad luck with Godwin and Debo both out this week. So what happens now? We look towards your bench. Kenneth Walker was a pretty crazy bench. You're going to expect that you don't do that again. You're going 3 running backs every week with Saquon, Kamara, and Kenneth Walker, of course. Debo's probably going to be fine. And now you just don't have as much depth as you thought you had going in. But if Tank Bigsby can be the running back there, you have running back depth. And I think Team Chef Cesario still could be a front runner. Obviously, it's harder to justify Team Chef Cesario being the top team I've been talking about all season. But I really still have a prediction that it's going to be Chef Cesario in the finals. And I'm going to stick with it. So yeah, we have our first done trade with Untouchables. Everyone else is so alive. I'm curious to see how this one unfolds. Yeah, as it comes down to 9 of you really left in my head. Sorry, Untouchables. Who's gonna stand out? We'll see. Let's see some more trades maybe this week, and I'll talk to you all next week. Good luck.